welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, it's great to have you in. Today, we've got a business related topic, of course, to talk about, and that is going to be a general one, not just Airbnb based. It is self-employment versus employment, having a job versus owning your own company, agency, whatever it may be. Okay, and guys, I'm in a unique position to talk about this because I have done both for periods of time. I've worked in a bunch of different industries, and I've owned now a couple separate businesses completely different to each other. Let me just preface this video then and take you through what I've done in the past and why I am uniquely qualified to talk on this subject. I have washed dishes when I was 15. I waited tables after that. Then while I was working in college, and then I got a job in a bank. I was working my way up in the bank. Then an opportunity presented itself in my local town in the form of a pizzeria there, and the owner wanting to get rid of it, wanting to sell it. I jumped to that opportunity. I was 20 years old. I did not have all the money to buy that business, and so I negotiated a deal with the landlord where I would pay him off as I was operating my now new pizzeria in this town. And that through hard work, that proved to be successful. Eventually, after a few years, I was making very good money. I purchased a second pizzeria in the town over, actually, and operated those for a total of 9 years. And after that, I then sold those businesses. I cashed out and I bought property in Florida, and I operate that property as Airbnbs. I also have Airbnb arbitrage properties, and that is rent to rent. That is where you rent property from a landlord and then you operate it as a short-term rental, which is already agreed upon, and you make the profit after your expenses. Okay, so that's the rundown. Now, in between that, I've also worked on construction sites. I did fire stopping and a few other different types of basic laboring trades. I did that at the start of my pizzeria journey just to add more income, and until I was earning enough to where I didn't really need to do that, and I couldn't really do that anymore, guys. I was very busy with the business and very busy with the operating of the pizzeria, getting stock during the days, this type of thing. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent. So I've done a bunch of different things to do with work and to do with making money. Now, I'm not going to give you the standard, you need to work for yourself. You can't have a boss. You're a bitch if you have a boss telling you what to do, working 9 to 5, blah, blah, blah. That's just nonsense, guys. That's not true. There is nothing wrong with having a 9 to 5, with working a job, with enjoying your career, with being ambitious and growing within that, providing for your family. All respect to guys that go in and clock in day in and day out. And there is nothing wrong with, having a boss, because as long as you don't have that type of toxic environment, it's really everyone trying to work hard, work together, and grow in their own careers and get promotions and work their way up, etc. And as long as you're in a team environment and people are helping each other and people are working hard, then there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Now, if you're in a toxic work environment and it's very bitchy and people are talking bad about each other and no one's motivating and it's just like a soulless death trap, then get out of there, guys. Get another job, find something else that's suitable for you, and maybe that is self-employment. But yeah, absolutely nothing wrong with working for a steady paycheck, guys. And that is the ultimate pro, is that you are guaranteed to get paid every month or every week. Okay, whatever frequency your salary is, you're guaranteed that money. So if something happens within the industry or something happens within the company that impacts their revenue and their profits, that is not going to impact your salary. You are going to get paid. You get paid every month and every week regardless. Now, if you compare that to self-employment, you are completely responsible and your income is completely accountable for any issues that happen within the business or within the industry. If cash flow slows, if profits go down, that is your profits that are going down. That is your money. Okay? So you do have that risk in self-employment, but you do also have the upside of that, which is when there's more money, when it's booming, when it's going well, and you've created that uptrend in your own business. That means more money for you guys. Okay, so you win in that instance. You get more, but you can also lose. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind, guys, is that steady cash flow from a job, and then with that steady cash flow that you're getting from a job, how are you using that money? How are you using that money in your personal life? And I've seen guys, with my own two eyes, I've had friends, I've had, acquaintances, people I know of, people I've heard of, and they could be making, $100,000 a year, to use USD example, and they have nothing to show for it. Okay, they go out every weekend, they binge drink, they have an expensive car payment, they pay rent, so they don't actually own any property, they're not getting any equity, they just blow their cash, guys. But I know guys that are making sort of $50,000 a year, that are really smart with their money, that invested, that own their own home. Yes, it may be smaller, but they own it, okay, and they're building equity in that, and in a few years they'll sell it, they'll make money, and they'll grow within that, and they'll also grow within their career. So it is about how you use your money. I've seen guys who have, that same guy with 100K a year salary, and he's broke. He has no money, no investments, no assets, nothing tangible to his name. But guys that are making a lot less can actually be worth a lot more. So you got to be smart with your money. It's about how you use it. Now, in self-employment, that principle applies exactly the same. People think, you're making all this money in your company, you're making 10, 20, 30K a month, you must be killing it. Yes, you are, but you're only killing it if you leverage that income back into the business to grow. Then you can create more and more and more, and create a company that's actually worth something, that's worth 6, 7, 8 figures, okay? And you don't get that if you spend 10, 20, 30K a month. If you're buying, expensive watches or whatever it is, whatever your advice may be, if you're spending your money every single month, expensive dinners, first class airline tickets, traveling all the time, not staying in one place, not staying locked in, just spending, you're not going to have anything to show for it, guys. And there's no success at the end of that tunnel. So be strict with yourself. If you are self-employed and you have that type of personality, you really need to ask yourself the question, like, can I be responsible with this money? And the attitude that I've now taken in business, because I've gone through it, guys, I've traveled, I've spent the money on, the watches, the dinner, the travel, all that kind of thing. And at the end of the day, it's just a drain. Like, you don't remember these things. The things that you really remember are the things that you've achieved, and things that, actually happen within your family, and moves that you sort of make that aren't just financial, that aren't just spending money, guys. Spending money is one of the most it's one of the most overrated activities that you can do, okay? Once you've bought one Rolex, the second one just does not hit the same. Like, you need to be growing within yourself and within your business. And buying another property hits way harder than any material possession you could purchase, guys, because you know that that's now going to bring more money in, and that's going to be something that you can either exit down the line, or you can leave to your sons to run. You can create a family business out of that, and real generational wealth. So that hits far harder, guys. And the excuse me, the attitude that I've adopted is now to actually treat myself like an employee on the financial end of things. So take a salary. If you own your own company, don't just take increased dividends all the time. Take a salary, be strict with yourself, live within your means, and then once you hit targets, or the targets you've set, you achieve them, take a bonus, okay? Just treat yourself like a director. There's no point spending all your money and having nothing to show for it. You really want to reinvest into yourself and into your business if you want to experience true growth, okay? And that's really the financial side of things. So there are pros and cons to both. Now, with your actual satisfaction, your job satisfaction that you're going to get from being employed, okay? There is satisfaction when you are employed, okay? There's, if you do a good job, there is somebody there to tell you you've done a good job. And, maybe they're going to give you a bonus or something, but you'll get recognition. If you work for yourself, there is no recognition, guys. You are the one doing the tasks. You are at the top of the funnel. So, or the top of the pyramid that is your business. It goes the owner, then, maybe you have managers, maybe you have supervisors, maybe you have staff, depending on your industry. But if you're at the top of that, there is no one ready to say, good job, well done, go enjoy your weekend off. You don't get that. Now, if you're working for a company, you get that job satisfaction. You can take holidays, guys, paid holidays. Like, you're getting paid to just be off and go and enjoy yourself. So if your attitude is right and you're really working hard at your job, there is satisfaction within that. And then there's career growth, okay? And so if you like the industry you're in, say you're an architect or an engineer or a doctor or even a tradesman or whatever you do, there is opportunity to work for yourself down the line, but you may want to gain the skills and, you know, the job satisfaction, as I said, use your ambition and grow within your career. And down the line, you may own something yourself. You may own your own firm or your own business in that industry, but you're gaining that skill by working in that job, and you have the safety of that paycheck, obviously. And job satisfaction when you're self-employed. Now, of course, it's extremely satisfying when you're doing well, when you do a good job, when you have a win, but it's also extremely demoralizing when you take a loss and when your business isn't doing as well as you hoped. So if you're not the type of person that can, work well under pressure and really thrive when their back's against the wall, and if you're the type of person that really sort of crumbles and falls apart when things get really difficult, self-employment is probably not for you guys. And there's no point doing something that doesn't suit you, that you're not going to be good at because of the skills that you inherently have. If you might, decide, I'm going to start this type of business, but you might just lose from that. You might not make any money, okay? You might waste time, whereas you might be well suited to a job or a career where you're going to actually do well and make money. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, guys. So you be honest with yourself about what type of person you are and what is really gonna suit you and do well for you. And guys, to merge it all together, if I could recommend one sort of roadmap to success, and this may not apply to everybody, it definitely won't apply to everybody, and it may not apply to you, but you might be the type of person sitting there with a job, getting paid well, thinking, I just want a bit more. Like, I just want more from life. I want more money, I want more freedom, I want more opportunity. Then I cannot recommend property investing, specifically short-term rental investing, guys. I cannot recommend it enough. If you're on sort of a good salary and you're in a job that you enjoy and you're good with your money and you have savings there, there's absolutely nothing stopping you from investing in a property, either to buy or to arbitrage. Arbitrage has an extremely low financial investment required to get started. And even if you're purchasing property, guys, it depends where you live and it depends what type of property you want, but it may not be that expensive. And what it does is it provides you with cash flow, okay, short-term rental investing, and it doesn't take up all your time. I work approximately 2 to 4 hours a week on my properties. These properties are in Florida, guys. I live in the UK right now, completely across the water, but I've set it up so that I don't need to be working full-time on my business. But what it does is it brings you cash flow, and it also builds you equity if you own the property. So if you own a property that you rent out, or if you arbitrage a property, you are going to make cash flow on that short-term rental. That'll be on top of your salary for the job that you do. And the more, as you make money per month, say you're making $1,000 profit a month, you can roll that into getting more property and then more property. And once you have 2, that means you're getting a third one twice as quick, okay? If you're smart with your money, you don't blow it all, you keep rolling it in, eventually you're going to be on 20, 30K a month. There's going to be absolutely no need for you to stay at your job, your career. You may choose to stay at it, but you may choose to leave. The one thing I would say is do not leave too soon, guys. There's no point dropping a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month salary, and because you're taking that pay cut essentially just for sort of more time. Like, wait till you're really making good money and you own these properties and you have a lot of equity, and if you don't want to work at your job, it's completely up to you. But the ultimate side hustle I can recommend, guys, is property investing, specifically short-term rentals. Okay, so I hope you gained something from this video today, guys. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.